Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some breaking news that could signal a major turning point in the ongoing tech war between the United States and China. According to reports breaking today, the Chinese government has instructed some of its biggest tech companies, we're talking Alibaba, Tencent, and ByteDance, to prepare orders for Nvidia's AI chips. Now, if you've been following the US-China tech rivalry, you know this is huge. Let me explain why. First, let's set the stage. For the past few years, the United States has implemented increasingly strict export controls on advanced semiconductors to China. The goal: limit China's access to cutting-edge AI technology that could be used for military applications or surveillance. Nvidia, the world's leading AI chip manufacturer, has been caught right in the middle of this. Their H100 and A100 chips are the gold standard for training large AI models, the kind that power ChatGPT, autonomous vehicles, and advanced research. These chips have been heavily restricted from export to China. In response, Nvidia created downgraded versions specifically for the Chinese market, like the H20 chip, which complies with US export rules but offers reduced performance. Meanwhile, Chinese companies have been scrambling to develop domestic alternatives, with limited success so far. The relationship has been tense, to say the least. Every few months we've seen new restrictions, countermeasures, and escalations, which is why today's news is so significant. So, what exactly is happening now? According to today's reports, the Chinese government has directly told major tech firms to prepare procurement orders for Nvidia chips. This isn't just companies making independent purchasing decisions, this is coordinated government direction. Let's talk about the companies involved. Alibaba runs massive cloud computing operations and AI research divisions. Tencent powers some of China's most popular apps and is heavily invested in AI and gaming. ByteDance, of course, is the company behind TikTok and relies on enormous computational power for its recommendation algorithms. These aren't small players, they're tech giants that collectively represent a massive portion of China's digital economy. The fact that the government is coordinating their chip purchases suggests this is part of a broader strategic shift. Now, we don't have all the details yet about which specific Nvidia chips are being ordered, what quantities we're talking about, or the exact timeline, but the mere fact that this coordination is happening tells us something important is changing. This move signals what many are calling a thaw in US-China tech relations, particularly around AI hardware. But let's be careful not to overstate things. This isn't a complete reset of the relationship. There are a few ways to interpret this development. One possibility is that diplomatic channels have opened up, perhaps creating space for certain controlled technology transfers that both sides see as beneficial. The US might be willing to allow some chip sales under specific conditions, while China gets access to hardware it desperately needs for its AI ambitions. Another interpretation is that this is purely pragmatic. Chinese companies need these chips to remain competitive globally, and domestic alternatives simply aren't ready yet. The Chinese government might be acknowledging that reality and finding workarounds within the existing rules. There's also the economic angle. Nvidia has been losing billions in potential revenue from the Chinese market. The US government might be recognizing that overly restrictive policies hurt American companies without fully achieving their security objectives. It's worth noting that AI chip demand globally is absolutely exploding. Every major tech company worldwide is in an arms race for computing power. China doesn't want to fall behind, and these chips are essential infrastructure for the AI-driven economy. What does this mean for the broader tech landscape? Several things. First, if this represents a genuine easing of tensions, we could see more collaboration on AI development between US and Chinese firms, at least in commercial applications. That could accelerate innovation on both sides. Second, this might reduce some pressure on Chinese domestic chip makers. If companies can reliably access Nvidia chips again, there's less urgency to pour unlimited resources into alternatives that may take years to match Nvidia's capabilities. Third, for Nvidia and American tech companies, this could mean accessing a huge market that's been largely closed off. We're talking about potentially billions of dollars in sales. However, we also need to watch for the security implications. US policymakers have been concerned about AI chips being used for military AI, surveillance systems, or other applications that conflict with American interests. Any thaw in restrictions will likely come with strings attached, verification mechanisms, usage restrictions, or other controls. The bottom line is this: today's news about China directing major tech companies to prepare Nvidia chip orders represents a potential shift in one of the defining rivalries of our time. Whether it's a temporary accommodation or the beginning of a more lasting change remains to be seen. What we do know is that AI is too important for either country to ignore, and the chips that power it are at the center of that competition. How the US and China navigate this relationship will shape the technological landscape for decades to come. What do you think about this development? Is it a positive sign of pragmatism, or does it raise concerns? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more tech policy breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.